That's so aggressive.
Welcome back to the channel, Fine Shits. Sorry it looks a little different today. I'm on the road since I'm, a hotshot YouTuber now with 2,000 subscribers. Which, by the way, thank you all so much. Like, I'm so incredibly grateful for that. Anyways, since I've been on the road, I haven't been able to do my usual deep dives that I like to do. But since I've been here, I've been spending a lot more time on TikTok, which I still have. Oh, they just added it back to the App Store. Never mind. Anyways, while I was on there, I found a podcast that reminded me why podcasts should not be so easy to make. We've not started taxing podcast equipment yet, and I think that's very detrimental. So the podcast we're going to be talking about today is called the Not So PG Podcast, and it's hosted by Peter Vigliante, which already... crazy name. Yo, what's up? I'm David Outlaw. Hi, I'm Robert Vehicular Manslaughter. Nice to meet you. I think they started the show to be some kind of like men's advice segment, but I promise you no one is learning a darn thing watching this. Several children will be left behind if they listen to this. Probably the best way I can describe it is Peter Vigliante and his friends thinking they're sharing nuggets of wisdom, but it's all masked behind them like bragging about their experiences with women and just being the biggest pick-me's ever.
Why are the hottest girls in the world always girls that have a name that ends in an A and sounds like
Yeah.
If you find a girl
Yeah.
has a name that ends in A and sounds like you better marry that girl and hold her down. But also, mind you, she's gonna be a little crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, he's got me. I'm already enlightened. Take all my money, Peter Vigliante. I'm sold. I'm pretty sure he stole that from like Facebook or something. Or they'll say like, oh, if her name ends with an A and sounds like she's a little crazy. And everyone with names like that are like, oh my God, that's so me. Peter Vigliante, I'm crazy. Pick me. And I also love the commentary from the other guy.
Yeah.
I totally get it though. I think he was just processing the sheer magnitude of the facts that Peter was spitting. You know what I always look for in a female?
Yeah.
When she has a name. I'm always saying this, dude, if she has a name, she's gonna be a little toxic, a little crazy, but definitely sexy.
Yeah.
Here's one where Peter gets him to open up a little bit more.
In some relationships, it's a thing where like the girl doesn't all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
You're not gonna figure out how to make your girl.
I would cry about it, probably.
It's my job.
No, dude. Not on my watch. I need to process that because I cannot believe it. No, also, I really hope someone isn't like all the time. You gotta like go to work, you need to like eat food, go to the bathroom. Changing your name to a name that ends with A and sounds like so that way Peter actually likes you. And I think you could argue this is advice for men to like learn how to satisfy women, which is important, don't get me wrong, like that's great, but I think there's a better way they could have gone about it. Maybe having a woman on the show would be a good start, like especially in this scenario. You could hear it from a woman and she can give like tips and share her experiences and stuff. I feel like that would actually make listening to this show bearable. But instead we have to listen to this man say that he would shed tears if he couldn't make it happen. All I can think of is someone like sitting on the edge of the bed bawling his fucking eyes out, and like his partner has to console him while she's kind of aggravated because she didn't finish. Hey, come on, champ, it's okay. I know you tried your best. Hey, maybe Peter's got some more advice he can give you.
What do you think is the easiest way to make a girl?
Putting like a pillow underneath their back, and I'll do like the scoop.
That scoop motion you're talking about, if you could get that going while they are going at full speed on top of you, is the easiest way to make a girl.
Wow.
I don't know why he sounded shocked. Like he just said the exact same things. These two things are really good, but what if you did them at the same time?
Wow.
I also feel bad if there's someone out there that's genuinely looking for advice. He needs to learn his self-confidence, he needs to learn respectful boundaries and things like that. But instead he found this and he's just really confused. I need a scoop? Do I need to like scoop something out of her while I'm swaying left to right? Is this right? Am I doing it right? And I won't knock it because, this ain't my first rodeo, Like, these are decent tips, but they're probably the first thing you would see if you Googled it from an article that was probably also written by a man. Listen, guys, you want to know the best way to please a woman? Fucking talk to her. Or talk to her. I know that's like a pretty surface level take, but I think some people really need to hear it. Everybody's different and likes different things. You really need to just communicate with your partner and find out what they like. I feel like you need to add that, like you shouldn't just message a random person and try to say any of this. Hey sexy, the name's David Outlaw. Why don't you come over and I give you a nice scoop? Like, I'm sorry, but that's not very respectful, David.
Do you think the ladies like when guys make noise in the bedroom?
I think it's a person thing.
Nah, you're wrong. I think yes. I growl in my ears.
How do you
Can't put me on the spot like
do
that.
it? Like, I feel like the only time I make noise is when, one, I'm cut or I can't breathe.
Why can't you breathe?
What the fuck are you doing in there, man? Like, I get moaning and stuff, but y'all really be afraid to moan? I'd be a my girl's ear like... So I think Peter Vigliante and his friends are fighting for the title of TikTok's biggest pick-me, which they're honestly doing a pretty good job, and I think the only person that really has them beat is Garett Nolan. I don't know if anyone remembers Garett or not. He did like the cringy acting skits that make the book talk girlies go feral and makes everybody else wish that TikTok stayed banned. I did a video on him a while back, and I think he holds the title of TikTok's biggest pick-me, but I don't really think we need to talk about... Oh,
Women think in a different way.
Huh? Yeah.
They think emotionally. I'm upset and I need you to comfort me right now. They need you to attack that emotion with reassurance, and a lot of guys just don't understand that.
yeah, dude, I fully agree with that. Women think different way. Woman emotional. Man also emotional most of the fucking time. I do think it's funny he's giving this long-winded like explanation for how men should be more sensitive to like women's emotions, which is a good thing for guys to know how to do, but he's just describing empathy. Yeah, did you know that girls actually like it when guys are emotionally available, and they don't like it when men just shut off and don't talk to them? Which I guess I'd be more fine with if they weren't just using this as a way to get pussy. You know, I just think it's so messed up that like men aren't nicer to women, am I right? I would be so honored to like give you reassurance every day and let you steal my hoodies and what else did he write here? Have sex when you're on your period, I guess.
Would you not sleep with a girl just because she's on her period? Like, would you be like,
I'd be excited about the situation, actually.
I'm sorry?
The blood coming from the cervix.
yeah.
I truthfully believe that it has some divinity to it. I believe that it has healing.
If I can't get my sword a little bloody, I'm not a good knight.
Guys, what the fuck are we doing here? I'm not knocking that activity at all, but I wouldn't call it like divine or healing or anything like that. I don't think there's anything divine about having to wash your sheets again because you didn't realize the towel moved. Just me? Anybody else? Also, Peter dropping those hard ass.
If I can't get my sword a little bloody, I'm not a good knight.
All I have to say is that made me want to say goodnight forever. I'm going to leave a note and say that Garett and Peter's cringe was just too much for me to remain on this earth. I'm totally kidding when I say that. I would never.
I've had guys tell me they don't eat pussy.
That?
They don't do it.
And I've had...
I thought Garett was about to be like, that is so fucking ridiculous. I would cry if I couldn't eat some of that divine pussy.
Things take time, especially when you're working with such a beautifully intricately designed.
My joke was real. What the fuck?
Before the podcast started, I was ready with that question because Garett was looking in the mirror over there and he was going, you know what I miss? I miss eating pussy.
Like, I could feel my eyes dilate saying that too, because...
You felt your eyes dilate? Your eyes dilated because you were thinking about munching some box. Maybe it's good that like they don't have women on this podcast because Garett would just be inconsolable. Don't worry, Garett. We're going to get you some pussy. I promise. Also, whenever these two are in the same room, there's a TikTok that it makes me think of where there's like two male feminists having a battle in a Target over who's more of a feminist. It's like Peter and Garett are trying to big dick each other, but I honestly think Peter won with the bloody sword line. All right, let's get Garett out of here. I'm done dealing with him for right now.
Got a girl's number the other day in my building.
I'll see you in a bit.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up?
You me?
Yeah, I'm filming a podcast right now. What's up, man?
What the fuck you doing calling my girl?
I was beating on my chest, bro.
You want to see her right now?
This is a perfect topic that I wanted to talk about, actually, even. Loser boyfriends that get upset at the dude when their girl cheats, bro. He's getting...
Let's take this
Yo,
shit
cut,
outside.
cut,
Come on, let's go.
Yo,
Right now.
cut the
Fuck up.
Yeah, we totally believe that this scenario actually happened, right?
Of all the things in the world that have never happened, that has never happened the most. That is the most didn't happen shit.
Like, walk me through this real quick, Peter. You got somebody's number. She answers the phone and says that she'll meet up with you in your studio. I guess her boyfriend was like within earshot, and then he's the one that shows up and gives you a chance to be like, oh, dude, no way. Cheating is awful. I would never... Dude, I even went to YouTube to like watch the full thing to see what transpired after that, but cuts right there with like no sign off, no nothing. It's just done.
And this time, I'm alone. I'm alone and...
Stacy's fucking boyfriend. What the fuck you doing calling my girl?
And all I'm thinking is if this was a real thing that happened to him, I hope it like knocked some sense into him. Like, what if Peter got so astronomically fucked up he decided to just make a new podcast entirely? He comes back and he's just like, here's why I think all boyfriends should die.
Can friends with benefits actually work? Absolutely not. I don't see you sleeping with someone multiple times and not catching feelings. There is a bond that you are creating with this person that is just super powerful. I do think there's a few people out there that can make it work. I'm not one of them.
You know, I think that's actually really telling and kind of proves the point that I was making earlier. No, it could absolutely never work because I could never make it work. I mean, what can I say? Her name ended with an A and she let me scoop her out. I was hooked instantly. Like, that dynamic definitely isn't for everybody, but to say no one should because you're the one that can't stop thinking with your dick, it's just a little crazy. The best thing I can say for that is, like, proceed with caution. You know, maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't, but you really won't know unless you try it out. And if you can't do it, then just walk away and not do it, and that's fine. And there you go. I just gave you better advice than Peter's probably ever said on camera in his entire life. You know, maybe I should start my own podcast. That would be like a really good setup for me to announce like I was making my own podcast, but I'm not. I would like to have one day if they ever solve the podcast epidemic. I think we need to address there being way too many podcasts in the world, and Not So PG should be the first one to go. And I know it's not that deep, and Peter's probably just having fun with his friends. You know, they figured out how to thirst trap in podcast form, and that's great for them. But the entire thing just feels so performative, like it's hard to not say something about it, you know? Like they're teeing up these great moments for them to look like feminists, when I think they're only doing that to get the people who accept the bare minimum and think that they're like the greatest guys ever because they eat pussy, even though I haven't heard anything about, you know, respecting the person that it's attached to. And it's just annoying and stupid, and I don't like it. You know, some shit just cringeworthy. It ain't even gotta be deep, I guess. So my final verdict about Not So PG is stop watching it. Maybe find a better podcast out there. Statistically, there is one, I promise. Like, maybe you're better off waiting for my future podcast, which doesn't have a name and will probably never exist. But even that would still be better than listening to any of this. So thank you all so much for watching the video. I know it's not as in-depth as I usually do, but I just wanted to goof around a little bit, so I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you give the video a like and comment if you did, and subscribe to the channel like the 2,000 people before you did. Thank you all again for 2,000 subs. It's insane. Like, you know, I tried to be nonchalant about it earlier, but I promise when I found out, I was like freaking out, jumping around. I was so excited. When I started YouTube, it was more of like a hobby that's now a passion of mine. I never really expected the view count or the subs to go past 0, like genuinely. But now, like, chasing my dream is becoming more and more of a reality every day, and it would literally be impossible without all of you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And thank you again for watching the video. Stay safe out there. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
In the house for a very long time. Never I cease, I get better like wine. Soul searching, found me online. No end of my reach, got a hand on the sky. Stop being so emotional, what you smoking on? About time I open up, you can't roll with us. If you want peace, go and throw up the sign.